Well, hello, everybody. Golden Cross here with my man No Future, aka No Fu. How we doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Very excited off of some recent posts from the main account, and just having a good day, vibing.
Heck yeah. Today's a good day all around. The markets are up. Everybody's moving into this new era, including Aavegotchi. We've got our Geist Layer 3, our own block space launched, running smooth for over a week now. And we're going to get into what's going on Geist, what's coming soon to Geist. But I think there's a number of things, but the big one is just in the last hour, we've had breaking news with the announcement of GOTCHI Points, the first rewards campaign to take place on the Geist blockchain. So with the breaking news, the new blog post out highlighting all the details, we're going to go through that together, answer any questions. If you have any questions about the migration to Geist or the GOTCHI Points campaign, you can drop them during the stream into the chat. We'll address them at the during the second half of this stream. And so with that said, let's kick off the Alpha Hour with a little headlines rundown and just run through kind of a high level of everything that's going on right now. There's a number of things, and then we'll settle into looking into the Geist migration and GOTCHI Points, which I think is something everybody's going to want to be paying attention to. It's really the cornerstone of the onboarding experience for giving us something to a little bit of carrot to offer our friends and family as they come over to Geist and have their first Layer 3 experience.
Yeah,
so,
mate.
Yeah.
We'll kick off with some rundown of headlines. The first headline is coming from Kobe Streams, kind of new to organizing events, but he's inviting the gamers, guilds, and communities who will be around during the YGG Play Summit to participate in a GOTCHI Guardians tournament. There's going to be $500 of prize pool and 500 ghost up for grabs, Geist NFTs, and Geist memberships. This is happening November 22nd at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. I believe that's Singaporean time. You can go and check out Kobe Streams. That's at Kobe Streams for the post, and get more information. If you are going to be at this YGG Guild Summit, there's a 32-man tournament featuring teams from Chronicles GG, Wayfinders GG, and NFTX Street. Super limited slots, so make sure that you DM and get in on that. It's going to be powered by Guilds Hall, and the links are below in the post that you see there from Kobe Streams.
Yeah, lots of good info there. If you are going to be at the major YGG annual summit in Manila, I believe it's in Manila, right there outside of Manila at the very least, in the burbs. This will be awesome, and it's always great to be playing with one of the best guilds in the world. So we always love to connect with our friends at YGG, and really excited to be doing this kind of satellite event, major tournament right there with the YGG fam. Everybody's in town for the YGG Summit, all things Web3 gaming. And Kobe, who's been just one of my favorite streamers to watch. I'm so excited that he's covering Aavegotchi, and specifically here, he's checking out GOTCHI Guardians recently. I've seen a couple posts, and he's going to be organizing this tournament with us, which is super cool.
Yeah, definitely get ready for some tower defense action. It's going to be happening. Speaking of streamers, we had Cairo, who is part of, I think, YGG as well. They did a play test of GOTCHI Guardians. He has a video that he put out kind of highlighting the game and going through it. It's a great watch. That is Cairo, as in KYROH, on X, Twitch partner and part of Yield Guild, their head of creators and guilds. So if you want to get a good overview if you're going to be at the YGG Play Summit, you might as well watch that video from Cairo to get a good idea of what you're going to be getting into. It's one of the hottest tower defense games out there, where you can play up to 7 other people at the same time.
That's right. Nice to see a lot of attention coming into Guardians. And it's cool because they're playing Guardians now, and it's not live on Geist yet. But we have the GOTCHI Points campaign just announced. Guardians is going to be a centerpiece of that campaign. So if you're enjoying GOTCHI Guardians now, it's going to be even better when it's live on Geist and distributing badges that will get you GOTCHI Points. We'll have more info on that in just a minute, so stick with us. But let's run through a few more headlines here. What else we got going on? We've got some GOTCHIverse updates I see written here on the show notes. I could speak to that. So yeah, maybe Goobs, throw up a few Gotchiverse images for anybody who hasn't seen this game or know what we're talking about. But Gotchiverse is kind of the home world for all Aavegotchis. It already has existed for years in 2D on the Polygon network, and it will be migrating with all of our other smart contracts and ecosystem assets over to Geist. And when it lands on Geist, it's going to look like a beautiful 3D world instead of the 2D world it currently is. Not that there's anything wrong with 2D, but we are excited to explore the world in 3D. It's mapped to the exact same coordinates and sizes as the original Gotchiverse, and yet there's so much fresh content in it. We're going to be launching with a proper party here in just a couple weeks. I'm going to say that the migration for Geist is going so smooth, we can expect the Gotchi points to roll out on time. That's a prerequisite. Then we're going to have the bridge for NFTs to move from Polygon to Geist open. And once that happens, we should properly celebrate and bring all the Gotchis together into this 3D world and throw a proper kickoff party. Celebrate a successful launch for Geist and a successful migration and new build for the Gotchiverse. So we'll kind of be stress testing it together with a live party with live functionality, a lot of cool features for social and exploring, and some live mints. When you think of the Gotchiverse, you're going to think of that as a way for artists, gamers, developers to distribute their content, their digital assets, their rewards across Geist. So the Gotchiverse becomes this like tangible 3D world where we can have open mints, we can have airdrops taking place in real time with real friends, and super excited for that. So yeah, the update's there. To be quite frank, the team's been working really hard on optimizations for the upcoming party. But I think as a betting man, we can get the party to happen in November. So probably right at the tail end of this month. And again, it will be tied into the Gotchi Points campaign. So you're going to see a lot of badges and rewards waiting for you when the launch party hits. So stay tuned and be on the lookout, because it's probably going to happen in days, not weeks or months. All right, now we've got the tournament with Gotchi Guardians. We've got Gotchiverse kicking off this month with the Gotchi Points tying it all together. There's still a few other reward campaigns already live and going. So what's the one for Gotchi Guardians? There's like a really cool skin that's going to expire very soon. If you download Gotchi Guardians today and start playing, you can still access this rare skin, this limited edition Ghost Pirate, if I recall, no future. We have a picture. Oh, it's up on screen. Great. Yeah, that Ghost Pirate's so sexy. So I think that gun, that little like gunpowder pistol, is actually the Hook wearable reskinned. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if that's the pistol itself. That might be the Hook reimagined as another pirate weapon. So I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff going on there. And I don't know. Have you picked one of these up yet, No Future?
No, I haven't had a chance to. I'm gonna have to jump in before they're gone. You have until November 22nd to grab that.
One more week.
Oh, actually, the 21st. Sorry, 21st. So you have 8 days, friends.
All right. The Beatles week. Cool. We also are dropping more tutorials and guidance via the Gotchi University videos. So if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to do that. Get on the YouTube channel, official channel for Aavegotchi, and you will be updated on a weekly basis with brand new content. This week, we're diving into an excellent overview of bid to earn auctions. These are powered by our friends at GBM, and it's one of the cool, most innovative, smart contract systems I've seen across any blockchain. Like, why do you need a blockchain? This is a good example. When you get outbid, you actually, in real time, the smart contract pays you a portion of the funds that just outbid you. So you get paid to lose. You get paid to be outbid. What you're really doing is you're getting an incentive to participate in price discovery. It's a really cool concept, both from an academic point of view and from a practical use case point of view. It really makes NFT or any other sort of on-chain auction just a lot more interesting, doesn't it? So we've had a few rounds with these No Future. We've both earned a few points and a few ghosts, I should say, for being outbid.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of GBM. If you go into our bazaar, you can look up auctions, and sometimes you can get the stuff you want at a decent discount. So you can always check out the regular marketplace, but jumping in and participating in the GBM, if you lose, you walk away with a little ghost. If you win, you get the item you want, potentially cheaper than its current floor price. So very interesting.
That's right. A couple other quick run-ups of the headlines here. We've got Strategotchi, the DAO community-funded game, voxel-based strategy game, in its second of 4 weeks here. It's about halfway through its month-long tournament with ghost prizes. We're looking at 500 ghost and rewards. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this is worded so accurately. I think there's more than 500 ghost and rewards in total. I think that's each of the 4 weeks. So you can get in, you can get rewards this week, you can come back, get more rewards next week. That's my understanding of it. So you're not too late. You can check out Strategotchi by simply looking for following them here on X, or all these games are listed in our game center at Aavegotchi.com. So there's really, when in doubt, just go to Aavegotchi.com. Everything you want can be found there. There's a whole game center listing all the live games and their current status, and you can download them, play them, or link to them and play them right from Aavegotchi.com. Another game that is featured in that game center is Gotchi Battler, and they did a very cool social post just the other day. Maybe we can pull that up, Goobs. Yeah, they're doing a Gotchi showcase as they prep for their next tournament. And here you can see the strongest Aavegotchi in existence. The owner has named this Aavegotchi slide. That is an on-chain kind of almost like a domain, right? Nobody else can take that name. And it's got a rarity score of over 1,000. That is kind of obscene. That is ridiculous. No Future, have you ever played with a Gotchi anywhere near 1,000 in the rarity score category?
I haven't gotten a Gotchi past. I think the highest I've gotten was 620 for my own Gotchi, and I had to do a lot of work for that. So 1,000 is insane. Yeah. For perspective there, that 600 is already really good. And to see this 1,000, what you're looking at, how do they do it? They do it with the wearables. Every Aavegotchi has a base layer of the Naked Gotchi, and then you can modify those base traits, those on-chain metadata traits, by equipping other NFTs that are called wearables to your Aavegotchi. And this one is chock full of very powerful, extremely rare, godlike wearables. That raffle on the head, the staffs in each hand, goodness gracious. It's just a godlike raffle frog just for fun. That is a monster. So pretty cool. Gotchi Battler, great account to follow. They're always doing fun stuff and showing off different aspects of the Aavegotchi culture. And they've got a big tournament coming up pretty soon. So you want to stay near to that one, because Gotchi Battler is quite unique. It's an idle battler, and it taps into our rarity farming typical rewards. And that means there are big reward prizes for participating. And you can build a team by just renting. So if it's your first time hearing about Gotchi Battler, you should check it out. Let's leave the DAO proposal review for the very end. We can check in on the DAO and any big headlines there. But to keep on track here, we should probably check out and dive into the main topic of the day. We just in the last hour had Gotchi points announced on official channels. This is the first public announcement of the Gotchi Points campaign, the first major rewards campaign for Geist, the Layer 3 blockchain. So you are early, friends. If you're listening to this program, you can participate in this right away. It's going to go live about 8 days from now, right? Also, I believe November 21st is the beginning of the Gotchi Play to Airdrop campaign. So what is it? Well, meet Gotchi, all caps, GOTCHI. This is going to be the first culture token launching natively on Geist. In fact, the first token of any ERC20 type to launch native on Geist. In terms of a new token. Currently, Geist has Ghost, which is the gas token of the network, GHST.
and that continues to be the bedrock of the whole chain and our whole ecosystem. But we need a culture coin. We need something with a little more mimetic energy and something that also fixes, I think, what we can agree on are kind of some issues with the original Alchemica tokens from the GOTCHIverse. So we're going to, the GOTCHIverse originally had 4 ERC20 tokens as kind of the raw materials of that world. They are now merging together. You can burn your Alchemica to earn GOTCHI points. And then in Q1 of next year, the GOTCHIverse will actually kind of do its own little migration and start supporting GOTCHI points and GOTCHI tokens as a major token within the game, and replacing a lot of the utility of the original 4 Alchemica. This helps a lot with things like fractured liquidity from a token perspective, and also a UX experience that is much cleaner for everyone else that's playing the GOTCHIverse. But it's not just a GOTCHIverse token. This is a culture token that will be pervasive throughout Geist and the Aavegotchi ecosystem. So let's scroll up a little bit before we get into how to get the GOTCHI points. Let's just talk a little bit about when it's starting and how you can be a part of it. So November 21, no future, circle the date. We're going to start burning Alchemica together on that day. And each season, we're going to have multiple seasons. But we've learned a lot from studying other blockchains in the space and other TGE events. When you look at like Blast had multiple seasons, but it seems like their most recent season, there was one grave mistake. They had a really long, like 1-year season. And people weren't willing to buy into that and lock up funds for a full year. Not to say everyone, but I'm speaking generally. So what we've done is made sure we have smaller, shorter seasons. So you can look forward to quicker turnarounds and a more dynamic type of gamified experience. So yeah, there's 2 main ways for you to get your GOTCHI points, and those points will convert into an actual TGE event, token generation event, with a new GOTCHI token at the end of the first season. So shortly after this first 3-month season will be the token generation event. So let's have a great first season together. And to do that, you're going to want to burn Alchemica. If you've got FOMO, FUD, Alpha, or KEK tokens from the GOTCHIverse, you've been farming them, you're going to be able to convert those into GOTCHI points at a fixed rate. And I don't know, Goobs, if you have this visual aid of the actual UI, let's show people kind of how that burning goes. There's like a ebb and flow to which day of the week you actually decide to do your bonfire and burn. So bit of magic here. You're actually going to be able to go to the website. You're going to, looks kind of like a deck swapper, except you're going to be doing the drop down and choosing FOMO, FUD, etc. And you're going to see a rate quoted to you if you burn it at that moment. But if you look there, you'll see this kind of like flow chart. Do you see that chart there in the middle of the screen, No Future?
Yeah.
Wavy. So, we always get together to party on Saturdays, right? GOTCHI gangs always together for a Saturday hangout. That will be kind of coinciding with the peak best rate to burn your Alchemica. And so we'll be kind of getting together on a weekly basis and burning our Alchemica together. But there's a gamification, there's a catch here. It's not so straightforward. You also have a bar under it that shows the total available pool of GOTCHI points that particular round, that particular week. And let's say the pool is drained and it's Friday night. Well, there's not much point in trying to get the best rate on Saturday because everybody's front run you and already made sure to get what they could by draining that pool. So the pool is also dynamic. It will fill up with, here's a better close-up of it. That pool says points limit per round and how many points are left. And that will increase or decrease. If people are burning their Alchemica, it's going down in real time. If people are claiming their points with the spins, it's going down. If you're burning Alchemica, a certain amount is going into the rewards pool for people to access via the spins. So it's pretty cool. Basically, you're going to have to watch that bar and also watch the ebb and flow of each round and try to time the best rate with without neglecting the fact that there may not be points in the pool. So it's kind of a really cool little, I don't know, you got to pay attention. You got to strategize a little bit. So what do you think, No Future? How are you ready to go get some gotcha points, or any questions coming to mind here?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. It makes it that Saturday, our social time in the Gotchi verse with Gotchi Gang is the most like potentially lucrative, but it will matter how much we actually burn. So for a person like me who I've been stacking my Alchemica, I'll be able to burn and get these Gotchi points. But it's also cool that it will, like, part of that will fuel the rewards for those spins to get people outside of our ecosystem to look in and kind of participate.
That's right. Oh snap, we got Kobe in the stream here, so he sees what's coming. Shout out Kobe, nice to see you here, sir. We were just talking about your tournament at the YGG Summit, so shout out for that. But yeah, No Future, going back to what you were saying, I think that's it. Like, you kind of in the back of your mind are like, man, one whale could come in and, like, you know, this could go really quick. So maybe I just take the bird in the hand and do my burning on a Tuesday evening. So some stuff to consider there, kind of keep us on our toes. There's also the Gotchi tokenomics. This is the first kind of high-level look at those. I'm sure there will be some speculation, some questions around, you know, what exactly are the rates of the burns to these tokenomics, and TBA. There's got to be some room for, some further news down the road. But right off the bat, the way the Gotchi tokenomics are set up is pretty clear. The important thing I would note is there's a 20% allocation for liquidity. So, you know, setting some Gotchi aside strictly to pursue listings or ensure plenty of liquidity on dexes like Camelot, with their forthcoming decks on our Geist chain. So yes, it's going to be, you know, pretty much ready to go with a bit of marketing, a bit of growth, also with listings, everything's set aside. And the rest, the great bulk of it, is to be distributed to Geist members. Remember, Geist is the world's first members-only blockchain. So let's say, No Future, you go ahead and you burn a bunch of Alchemica. You decide, like, hey, it's the 21st, I'm going to be first to it, I'm burning a bunch of Alchemica. But maybe you don't have, and this would be crazy, but maybe you don't have a Geist membership. And you would still have those points allocated to you from burning the Alchemica, but you wouldn't be able to claim it until you have a Geist membership. So just as we've said from day one, Geist is for members only, and that definitely is true when it comes to reward campaigns like this. So you can be sure this is going to be a great way to direct all the rewards to Geist members. If some stranger wants to come around and burn a bunch of Alchemica, they're going to contribute 30% to the reward pool, but they're not going to be able to claim it until they go ahead and join us on in the Geist Club. So I think that's going to be music to all Geist members' ears, Gotchi Gang, anybody that's serious about this concept of, you know, taking a stand against multi-accounting and bots and all of this kind of stuff. So yeah, let's see. What else do we have to say? Let's go back to the article. Let's see what else we probably missed. If you can pull that up. Yeah. So method 1, come the 21st, the website will be live, just like we showed you. Go in there, start burning your Alchemica. And then method 2 is you can earn more Gotchi points by playing Aavegotchi games, of course. So every time Alchemica is burned, 30% of those points are generated and go into a Gotchi gaming rewards pool. So this is for the players. And points from this pool can be earned by unlocking badges in various games. Now here's how it's going to work. You won't get the points directly. You're going to go play Gotchi Guardians. You're going to earn some badges. Those badges are going to deliver you spins, okay? And so once you get spins, you can take those spins and return to the Gotchi Points DApp, and you can actually spin the wheel. It's literally a spin. And this is where you're going to find out how many points you get for each spin. And so if that rewards pool's full, maybe you're going to have a little better luck, a little better go-round. But yeah, you can see, like, on a rare occasion, somebody could literally hit the jackpot and go for 50K points from one spin. But most of the time, it's going to be something far less than that. And occasionally, it could even be zero. It could be wrecked. So the spins are another gamification layer and another way for us to have some fun and distribute the points. And this is like a meta level game that will touch every Aavegotchi game that launches on Geist. So right off the bat, we can confirm that the next Gotchi Guardians release will be on Geist, and it's going to be on the heels of this Gotchi point system going live. So maybe the first week, we're just burning Alchemica, filling up that pool. And then Gotchi Guardians goes live on Geist with brand new badge system, new badges. Everybody starts earning all the badges, leveling up your profile, and getting those spins. And go ahead and spin the wheel, get your Gotchi points accumulating. And like I said, it's a 3-month campaign until the TGE. So let's see who can run up the leaderboard the most. We're going to have a beautiful leaderboard for this as well. And you'll be able to track your global rank amongst every other wallet, every other profile out there that is competing for points. I love spinning wheels. I don't know about you, No Future.
Oh, yeah, I love the wheel.
Yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah. So very excited for this. This is something that's like familiar territory to a lot of people. It's also very novel and nuanced in some of its detail. So pretty excited for that. I see a shout out here from our friends at one of the major Gotchi guilds called the Portal Mage, the Portal Mages. And he's saying their guild has dropped Alchemica in Magetown every hangout. They have never missed a Saturday spillover. And that's pretty cool. So that's what we mean by every Saturday's a party. And these guilds, that's amazing that they've never missed. That's so cool. We're talking years here, folks. Now they're going to have one more activity to do. They can like get together as a guild and burn their Alchemica and start running up the leaderboards for the Gotchi points. So yeah, here we see people reacting online to the Gotchi points campaign. It looks like the Gotchi Play to Airdrop will start November 21st. Everyone's reacting to the article there. You can get all the details either at Aavegotchi.com at the blog or on X by just following this X article. All right, maybe we go back to the article and see if there's any last things we missed, but I think we kind of covered the great majority here. Back to tokenomics, 70, 20, 10, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Go ahead, keep scrolling. The campaign will begin November 21st. You can subscribe to the Geist newsletter, join us on Discord, follow us on X. You don't want to miss out, and you can be a part of this. You are early. All right, and then there's a good FAQ. Maybe we should run through this really quick. So I already answered, yes, non-members can earn the points, but if you want to claim them, you better go get that membership. And how long will each season last? We're talking about 3 months per season. Okay, it's of course possible to change, but that's the plan, and I think it's a pretty good one. The entire campaign will last 18 months, so there's a nice long distribution curve here. Let's have a nice fair distribution for the early adopters, the players that come later. It's distribution, it's growth, it's rewards, it's all of that. Let's make it last as long as we can. And of course, it will be a Geist exclusive experience, so Gotchi is being deployed natively on Geist. And what will happen to Alchemica after the campaign ends? Well, any remaining Alchemica tokens will likely not be convertible into Gotchi. So we encourage you to burn them, first of all. And then in terms of Alchemica's utility in the Gotchiverse, it is eventually there'll be a handover where a lot of the crafting recipes, things that Alchemica used to do, there'll be a point where exclusive items are coming in and being Gotchi points only or Gotchi token only. And eventually we can consolidate, the liquidity dries up, and it just, for the Alchemica, and everything becomes denominated in either Gotchi, with some combination of crafting recipes, where Gotchi is just the base, and then you've collected like rare gems and all these other things in your adventures across the Gotchiverse. But Gotchi points can always be a part of that, as opposed to like 4 different fractured liquidity tokens that are the current status quo. Happy to be changing it up. Very important too. People may ask, like, wait. You have GHST, the Ghost token. How is this different? And they're serving two totally different purposes. Ghost remains as the official governance token for all things Aavegotchi. It's growing in its utility every day, and that now it's actually the gas token for Geist. It's the Aavegotchi DAO governance token, and it is the currency of choice for the NFT marketplace. So all our bazaar items continue to be denominated in Ghost. Gotchi, on the other hand, is more of a culture token. It's representing the Aavegotchi IP, so we can see it being used for activities within our homeworld, the Gotchiverse, like the crafting and tipping, things like that. But it can also be adopted and used by anybody else on the chain that sees a good use case for Aavegotchi and Gotchi token, and they don't want to. Maybe they want to have an experience where the tokens don't. What would be the word? Like if you spend all your Ghost, then you kind of are giving up your voting power, which is kind of weird because you're an active member of a community. You're making purchases. You shouldn't see your governance diminished, right? So in some sense, you can bifurcate. You can have your governance and your currency over here, but you can also do these other activities and level up with Gotchi points. I think it's a nice kind of that's both worlds. Can you think of any other questions, No Future, or any other thoughts as we look through this breaking news?
Yeah, the one thing I wondered, and I feel like this is a simple, like, yes answer to this. Gotchi will live on Geist. Will there be a possibility to bridge it off of Geist? Because I'm assuming we're going to have all of our the 20% that's going to be put aside for liquidity, that the LP is going to live on Geist itself via Camelot, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah, there's some flexibility there. I mean, if let's say maybe the DAO itself, it's a war chest of Gotchi, right? Like there's individuals, and then maybe the DAO itself makes a strategic play on Gotchi. They could deploy that any way they want, as long as there's no technical limitations. Maybe we want Gotchi to be available on some centralized exchanges, so we can work towards listings. Or maybe more like with what you're saying is, yeah, you could bridge it. You could, we're partnered with Socket, so all the Arbitrum Orbit blockchains are going to benefit and could theoretically tie in and accept or take utility, or basically accept Gotchi tokens on their chains. So I always use Ape Chain as an example, right? That's another compatible Socket chain that has gaming in its DNA. And you theoretically, with Socket, the UX is so nice. You don't even think about bridging. It's just, oh, you have some assets on Ape and you have some Gotchi on Geist. You can spend them on either chain as long as there's applications willing to accept them. So I think the sky's the limit for where the Gotchi token can go and grow. But initially, this will be the first natively deployed ERC20 on Geist. At least it's certainly shaping up. Unless somebody front runs, I think it will be the first natively deployed token on Geist.
Yeah, amazing. I guess one other question. Ghost and Gotchi are separate. So Gotchi is the governance token. Do we envision Gotchi having voting power within the DAO?
I don't think within the DAO, because that's Ghost, right? That's definitely Ghost terrain. I would say the new Gotchi token is more of a culture coin. It's for fun. It's for tipping. It's for in-game activities, especially like Gotchiverse is confirmed to be using it for crafting, lots of recipes, and things like that. So I think it's more like, think of it as a tool for your games. If you're a game developer out there building an Aavegotchi game or any game on Geist, Gotchi suddenly becomes an attractive token that you could tap into early and be a part of and accept. So, but for governance, maybe you could make a case. There's been some light discussion. It's certainly an option of having, governance within the Gotchiverse itself could have its own rules, right? So it seems like there's the meta, the whole on-chain DAO, and we have our SIGPROP core prop system for that. But we also want the Gotchiverse to be built by the community and by the DAO. And so whether that's just top-down SIGPROP core props or something more gamified and live in the game, I think I'd prefer the latter. And that's where Gotchi points and Gotchi tokens could play a role. So imagine you want to have influence in your district and influence what kind of things can be built in your Gotchiverse district. And you have a ton of Gotchi points or Gotchi tokens. You also have a very high rank with your player profile, right? You've been playing a lot of Gotchi games. Your player profile has a certain level it's achieved. Maybe it's like a level 99. I think those should have some sort of influence on your influence in the Gotchiverse, and not just your financial, like how many ghost tokens you have in your wallet. That should also play a role. So it's kind of, I see like a hybrid in-game kind of reputation system, basically, that takes into account your ghost holdings, but also says, okay, how many Gotchi do you have? And maybe how many Aavegotchi NFTs do you have? And also your player profile rank. So there's a couple levers we could play with there, and I think that'll be really cool to see play out. I see a question in the chat coming in from Nico, very, very much worth addressing. The Aavegotchi ecosystem has a number of different assets and tokens. But one of them that is kind of the fifth brother to the Alchemica family is Glitter. And Glitter is kind of its own separate thing. It's tokenized time in the Gotchiverse. And it's a token that we want to see more use cases for. And I don't know if you guys remember, but we did briefly touch on some really specific Glitter use cases for the Gotchiverse. So the Gotchiverse roadmap has basically 3 verticals. There's the governance influence of Ghost. There is the day-to-day gamification and crafting of Gotchi, our new IP token. And then there is the adventuring questing aspect and how Glitter can power those experiences. And kind of like token gating rare scenes, rare places to go in the Gotchiverse, not just in space, but in time. So Gotchis live inside of a blockchain. And if you want to go from block to block and traverse that timeline, you're going to need Glitter to do it. So yeah, there's some very cool gamified reasons to continue to use Glitter in the new upcoming Gotchiverse. All right, I think we're doing pretty good here. We're also coming up on, the last part of this show. Is there anything left for Gotchi points we want to talk about? Otherwise, I just summarize and say, we're really excited for this. It's the first campaign of this type we've ever done at this scale, and we're doing it on our own blockchain. So very bullish on this. It will start on the 21st. So get your Alchemica ready, get it ready to bridge, and let's all burn it together on the 21st and through that first week. So we get a nice player reward pool filled up for when Gotchi Guardians goes live on Geist just a few days later. And all the badges, if you're an OG that's been playing Gotchi Guardians pre-Geist, if you've been playing the last many months, know that we're going to have some really cool announcements for you. Here's some alpha. You guys are going to get airdropped lots of spins for the work you put in play testing and playing these early beta versions of the games. And then when it goes live on Geist, we're going to wipe those badges. Like I said, we're going to drop rewards in accordance with those badges you've earned. And then we're going to start with a clean slate of the new player profile system on Geist. Even the badge system itself has been updated. The old badge system was kind of also beta. It was just one tier of badges. Now we're going to have a tiered system similar to your PlayStation 5 experience, bronze, silver, gold, medals, and each one gives away a number of spins to you. So you can go get bronzes all day and you'll get a couple spins each time. Or maybe you pull in that silver or gold badge and you're going to get a lot more spins for those. So yeah, all of that is just on the horizon right in front of us. The rest of November, we're all going to be pretty busy. So get ready to play some games, burn some Alchemica, and spin the wheel. All right. Going back to the show notes here, there's another area that ties into this, right? A lot of you in recent weeks have been very active on the Geist encounters. And I believe we are now ready to introduce a new encounter. So there's a couple new tasks coming up, and we're still playing in the Polter sandbox. This is the test net for Geist. So if you're ready, you've got encounter number 3 that comes with 3 tasks and a special challenge task. And if you complete these, you will be entered into a raffle where you'll have a chance to win some on-chain prizes. And that's all. We're talking Geist stuff. This is all stuff that's going to happen on Geist. So what you need to do on testnet is get some testnet ghosts from the faucet and go and use it to extend your testnet membership into 2025 and beyond. And then you can also try to earn at least 1 ghost on testnet from your referrals. Because remember, just similar to maybe something you've experienced on Blast or others, you can get referrals for sharing memberships and getting more people to come and try out the Aavegotchi games. So by giving referrals and giving your invites to the right people, active people, you're going to get more and more earned ghosts to your accruing to your account. So yeah, pretty excited for this. If you have questions, you're ready to jump in, now is the time. You can hop in our Discord. People will be happy to kick off with you on this new encounter, and you can still do the previous encounters as well. So it's not too late. Those will eventually close. But right now, you could come in today, and you could start fresh and complete all 3 encounters. I believe there's going to be 12 encounters total, so you're still early on that as well. All right. Do we see any other questions coming in? Anything like that? If you got them, shout them out now. I'm here and happy to answer questions, whether it's about the Gotchi points, the migration at large, Gotchiverse. We can cover any of that. Okay, we already talked to Nico. He was asking about the glitter token. That one, you can find it on CoinGecko. Look it up. It's kind of a micro cap right now, but it's about to move to Geist, and we'll get some new utility. Oh, cool. Goops just threw up on the screen here the 2 million transactions. That is a milestone that Geist blasted through earlier this week. Some people have been very excited with minting the commemorative badge, which is no longer available. That's why you see the last couple of days the transactions have topped out. I don't think you're able to mint that one anymore. It ended up coming in, it looks at 2.8 million total transactions is where we currently stand. The chain's holding up very well. And actually, this served as a great little stress test here, as we had a lot of people coming through, and you could mint more than one. So some people just went hog wild and minted a lot of the commemorative Geist NFTs. And I don't blame them. That's a good move. All right, no future. Anything else to shout out? Maybe we do a quick rundown of not everything happening in the DAO, but do you see 1 or 2, votes or debates that are happening DAO side that people should be aware of and can participate in?
Yeah, we have a couple things. I'll go through them very quickly. We have the core prop for the new DApp features that is currently live and will end in, when does it end? We're almost at quorum. It ends on the 19th. So be sure to go and make a vote for there. It's currently winning with a yes. Next up, we have the defining DAO director term lengths and process for future elections. That one is also a newer vote. It ends on the 23rd. It so far has 6.5 million ghosts to make it happen, and it's at 6.8 out of 9 million. This one did not reach quorum last time. This is a draw of this specific prop, so make sure to get out there and get your vote in. We also have the enabling collateral withdrawal from Aavegotchis without sacrifice. This makes it easier basically unlocking all these collaterals that have been locked up in gotchis. Some of them for the H1 gotchis are like kind of hard to get. So there's you definitely want to read this prop. It's worth a good read. And this one is currently passing 97.92% with 5.8 million of the 9 million votes towards quorum. So get your vote in on that one. We have AGIP 136, which is the Aavegotchi X sandbox maintenance renewal and termination. This one is passing 84%, but it's only at 4.2 million of 9 million of the quorum. You still have about a week and a half left to vote in this, so make sure to get out the vote. And then lastly, we have the Gotchi Greeters V2 revised. This one was overwhelmingly passing, but didn't reach quorum, so we resubmitted it. Shout out to Light Piglet, T-Bird, Mr. Seb, and myself, being part of the Gotchi Greeters. This one is at 1.6 million ghosts. 57% of Gotchis are voting yay on this. It's only 2.8 million out of the 9 million for quorum, so definitely make sure you get out and vote. And those are the active SIG props and core props currently.
That's awesome. There's a lot going on and some good votes going there. So if you haven't voted yet, hop in, get some XP for your Aavegotchi. It gets airdropped every time you participate in a vote. You are actually upgrading your cute little Aavegotchi. And they're getting rarer all the time. I saw where is it? Let's pull up Internet Phases comment he left. We were talking about, Gachi Battler tweeting out the most powerful Aavegotchi of all time. And I talked about its godlike wearables. But Internet Phase actually makes a great point here. Little known fact, kind of the opposite of a CryptoKitty. We designed it where you can actually make your Gotchi's metadata stronger by having it basically eat the essence of other fellow Aavegotchis. And so we call that sacrificing Gotchis, and you do so because you can really run up your Gotchi on the rarity leaderboard by making it stronger. And this Gotchi named Slide, it's the top of the leaderboard, and it's ate a whole village of Aavegotchis. So this is really cool. A lot of people have not seen this or are aware of this mechanic, but Gotchis actually are not inflationary. We are deflationary, with Gotchis eating Gotchis from time to time, especially around the time we're taking snapshots for leaderboards. You see a lot of Gotchis get gobbled up, never to be heard from again. I know you've publicly kind of rode the fence on this feature, right? Like some days you wake up and you're ready to sacrifice Gotchis, and other days you just can't. You just can't do it.
Yeah, I still have not done it. I even wrote 2 songs about killing a Gotchi and then never did it. I felt bad. Still have that Gotchi in my wallet. Mark for Death, shout out to him.
Shout out Mark for Death. Possibly the best name for a ghost Aavegotchi NFT ever. You'll have to mint those songs in the Gotchiverse. If you were here last week, we can't rehash all the same alpha every week, but we did pull back the curtain and tease a music NFT minting platform for Geist in the works. And so all you musicians out there, maybe you need to start thinking about what you're going to mint on Geist. And and then again, going back to the Gotchiverse as distribution, you're going to be able to play, compete, and in real time, like run around and actually earn these NFTs. So there's a vinyl record right there, ready to be dropped into the Gotchiverse. And can't wait to hear Marked for Death by No Future. Ode to Marked for Death. So cool. It looks like we're going to end out the show looking at some beautiful in-game shots of the design work in the Gotchiverse. Look at this placid lake near the Great Portal. It's in the backdrop. Glorious. Just good stuff. Oh, we're ending. We got a couple things. Look at Goobs just throwing cool stuff at us. We should just do this for an hour. Goobs just throws stuff on screen and we react to it. What are we looking at here, No Future?
I can't tell. I'm trying to read the.
I was looking at it this morning. I'll cheat and tell you. This looks like the most recent tweet from Dropped. One of the games being built right now for the Gotchi ecosystem. It'll go live on Geist, I'm sure. And they've apparently onboarded a new artist for the environments. And this is, I think, the first time we're seeing some of that artist's work on that game. It looks like it's getting a little spookier, a little more tentacly-er, for lack of a better word. I'm making words up. Very cool. You guys are going to eventually be getting badges and earning spins for your Gotchi points by playing this awesome dungeon crawler. Oh,
yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it's looking really good. So that's a good note to end on. Again, you can read up more on Gotchi points at Aavegotchi.com. Just go to the blog. It's the top headline. Or if you're on X following Aavegotchi, it's also pinned there, and you can read the X article. It's the same content, just in 2 formats. All right. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in this week. We will, gosh, it's kind of a big week. This is going to be a pervasive, ongoing campaign, and today's just the first announcement of it. So when we're meeting here a week from now, we'll be on like the eve of it going live, and that'll be really exciting. So I'm sure we'll have some more questions to field next week. We'll help you get onboarded, and like I said, anybody can burn Alchemica, but if you're going to want to claim those points, you're going to want to be talking to friends and try to get an invite from a Gotchi ganger. Invites to Geist have been airdropped to Aavegotchi NFT holders, and there are no announcements on airdrops to other communities yet. So you want to be in the Gotchi gang or making friends with the Gotchi gang right now, and that's the fastest way for you to get up and running with a Geist membership and be part of this first season of the Gotchi Points campaign. All right, let's put a tack on it. We'll call it a day here, and we'll see you all hopefully Saturday at the weekly hangout. Should be some good stuff going on there. More to talk about with more friends in the Discord. That hangout takes place in Discord, and then like you probably know, we're here with our stream on X and YouTube at the middle of every week as well. So hopefully we'll see you on the weekend and with more Gotchi news. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.